We just do some checks. That's on. And live chat. Yeah, it's all good in the hood. We got a special guest. Who remembers the retired old fart? There he is. It's my dad, and we're live on YouTube. How cool is this? Right, we're waiting for this all to catch up. So if I do that, give us a sec, everybody, and that's coming in. And yeah, there it all is, all up here. Wow, this is bonkers. God, it's true. I'll tell you what, it's so hot in here. I'm gonna take all my clothes off soon.
Starting out.
It's bloody bonkers. Oh, flipping, I've got the fire going. Maybe I shouldn't have. Whew. Thanks everyone for joining in. We've got a crazy show coming up tonight. Absolutely bloody bonkers. Now, first of all, before we go any further, audio and visual, is it any good? If not, then we're not doing this at all. So if you can let me know right now if it's all good, that'd be cool. We're just waiting to hear from what everyone's saying. AV, all okay. 5 and 5, that's good. So that's cool. Wicked. Right, let me see. If you're watching on the replay, awesome. But this is going out live right now, all across the UK and indeed around the world. Thanks to 143 people who are here, right now. And what we try and do is we're trying to get everyone's hints and tips and ideas into the chat. So everyone who watches on the replay can just check it out and make notes and contact people, all that sort of thing. See how I'm off the screen. It's crazy. So yeah, it's pretty bonkers. It's been a mad week. Been a hell of a lot going on. But you know, we're just trying to forge ahead and crack on. So everything's good. We're doing the checks all right. Everything's cool. Incidentally, there is links under the video. If any of you lovely people wish to donate, you don't have to, but the options are there. The links are all underneath the video. That's absolutely cool. So we're going to go right up to the first person, Paul T. I love you. First person always gets that. Right, before we go any further, what we always like to try and do is we want to know where everyone is around the world. So if you can tell us where you are, that would be really cool. And it gives everyone a bit of a flavour watching on the replay of just exactly where everyone is. You know, so it's all good. So we're going to look on here. So who we got from the Sligo Island, the Sligo in Ireland, Slough, London, Derby, Swansea, West Midlands, Ireland, Bolton, London, oh my God, Redditch, Scousland, Catterick, Garrison, all good. Leicester, look at it, Cornwall, Scotland, Herefordshire, Kent, Denmark, Belgium, South Bucks, Texas, North Wiltshire, Essex, North Hants. Oh my God, we got people from all over. Virginia Beach, USA. Look at that. Norfolk, Taunton. Oh my days, look at this. Essex, Sussex, Worcester. Lots of people from Cornwall. You see the Cornwall flags? Yeah, that was sent in from Cornish Bob. It was absolutely cool. He sent a couple of beers in.
We're ready.
Yeah, absolutely bloody stoked. Incidentally, I've had a few people wanting to send me gifts and stuff. If anyone wants to send anything, if you could go to the Bug Out website, which is on the link on my bio on my YouTube channel, there'll be an address on the website, and that's where I work. So that's cool. It's just easier to say the name and address. So there's links to that. So thanks everyone who's been sending stuff. It's been really cool. Who have we got? Bristol, Northern Ireland, Wales. Hey, look at this. Look, huge arseholes. I do like that one. It's
we
cool.
like you.
Yeah, we do. Planet Earth, that's cool. Pembrokeshire.
I'm from Planet Earth.
Yeah, me too. Well, I like to think I am.
Allegedly.
Who really knows? That's absolutely bonkers. Darlington, Shropshire. Oh my God, Bristol. Oh, do you know what? We was at Bristol today, and we went to pick you up at the train station.
Absolutely.
Whoa! Heads up to all you guys in Bristol. Make sure you got your flak jacket. Jeez, I can see bad stuff coming down there one day. What a place!
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, OMG. Yeah. Funny dad from Portsmouth. Alan Coleman is from Portsmouth. Cool.
We like Portsmouth.
Yeah, absolutely. See, it's live from what we're seeing on there, but it's a delay on the other screen. It's weird, isn't it?
Technology, eh?
Deep in the bunker, cool. Scotland, Look at that. Everyone's from all over the place. Coventry. Sorry about that. No, I'm only joking.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. Oh, this is absolutely wicked.
Sorry, I promised to behave myself.
Yeah, he's going to try and behave himself tonight. Oh, dear. Don't forget, 9 o'clock, you have to remind me that we got some beers coming. And yeah, look at this. We both happen to like this. Doom Bar. Absolutely cool.
I'm in charge of Doom Bar.
Yeah, and you know what? It's the cheapest beer you can get in Tesco's in Wales, which is cool. Excellent. So we got people from London as well. Incidentally, most of the people who watch this video are watching from London, apparently. And before I forget, this is quite important. If you know anyone who watches this channel, can you ask them to check if they've got that notification bell ticked? Because I had a message from YouTube to say only 5% of all of my subscribers have the notification bell ticked. So if you can check that that is ticked, you're not going to miss out on any videos, okay? What I'm going to try and do, as and when I get some time, I'm going to try and do some random drop videos during the week. And of course, if any of you guys are subscribed and you've got a notification bell ticked, you're not going to miss out on any of that. And I just checked, there's 344 people here already. That's scary because it used to take probably an hour to get to that. And we've only been on 6 minutes. And
nothing to do with me.
I'll tell you what, a strange thing that happened, and I really don't understand what happened, but the last live stream I've done, the fun one, where we talked about the funny films, the one before that, where I spent ages doing research, that absolutely went mad. I've gained nearly 5,000 subscribers since that video, and what, 60,000 views on that one video. So all you new subscribers, thanks ever so much for finding me. You've done the right thing. And we are trying to help everyone here in the UK. Years ago when I started research, I used to know more about what was happening in America than I did in my own country. Now, due to, I know a lot of people all around the world, and I'm getting information from them from what they're actually seeing, and I'm sharing it with you guys, and you share it with everyone that you know. And the more that we share information, the better we're going to try and fare with all of the crap that could be coming down the road real soon, all right?
It's on its way.
Yeah, it's the cost of living, which we're going to be mentioning tonight. And yeah, Wildwood Reeds, moderator, absolutely awesome. Any of the moderators in the house, go careful. It's going to be busy tonight, all right? I don't know how you guys are going to fare. I really don't. From the moment, I've only seen one, and that's Faye, bless her. There's no one else. Gil, you got your work cut out in a moment. There's a lot of people in here. So yeah, anyone saying silly things or being argumentative or blah blah blah. Carlos, hello mate. Is the guy who just lives. All I can say is up the road. I'm not going to say. Metallic's here too. Cool. You remember the girl at the prepper meet with the roast pig? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's here.
Oh, well done.
Yeah. You see her come up on the chat. I can't see her at the moment. But what we're looking for is a name. See where it's in blue there. We're looking for her. I can't see her on here anywhere. There's so many people in there. It's absolutely bonkers. Right, what I don't want to do is to waffle too long because we've got a lot of people in here and we've got a lot of him. Here she is, Metallic Reality.
Hey.
There he goes. That's the girl who's cooking that pig at the prepper meet. Bless
I've
her.
got a photograph of that too.
Yeah. She is awesome. Right, okay. So let's get on to it. Now, has anybody heard the news of brand new YouTube? Now, when YouTube started going funny a few years ago, I actually created an account on brand new YouTube. Never really used it because I think back then, I think YouTube hooked up with Google Plus and it upset a lot of people. And from a content creator like myself, the first big issue that I had was I don't want nothing to do with Google if I can help it. I don't want anyone knowing my real name and all that sort of thing. So they decided to do it anyway, and every video that I've ever made, so unlisted, private and public, they decided to make all of them public, which is crazy because I have private videos on there which I sent to just trusted people and the whole world could see them. So I went ballistic at that. And when I looked into it, I went onto brand new YouTube. Apparently it's been hacked. All right, so if anyone is on brand new YouTube, let me know more. It's only information that I've just come like just before we went on air. Okay, so brand new YouTube has been hacked. So yeah, that's not looking good. Apparently this is a mainstream analysis, and it is an average of all food across what's bought and sold in the UK, and apparently it has gone up in the month of August 9.3%. So in 1 month, the food on average, has gone up nearly 10%, which is bonkers. Because when you consider everything else seems to be going up in price. Got hacked over a week ago. Yeah, I didn't do a live stream last week. I had a week off, but yeah, I'm just catching up. So yeah, that's absolutely right. So that was bonkers. So the food's going up. This is a weird thing as well. While I've been looking at the ag news here in the UK, I've discovered that the reports coming in was an average of 1.5 degrees C plus than what it usually is. And there was 50 millimeters of rain in July, which is 50% less than what we usually get. And that's basically done a lot to the crops. Now, I've been eagerly anticipating the crop report. It's due in very, very soon, okay? But I have heard information from people in that sector, and it's not looking good. It's really not. As we've been talking about in previous live streams, okay, the agricultural reports for the crops and the yields that are coming to fruition in harvest time, which is September, October, we're just starting to get inspectors to go around the fields and to give estimates on failures and percentages, okay? So the crop yield report will be coming out soon, but some of the stuff I've been hearing is pretty mad. We're going to touch on that a bit later, okay?
Someone's asked for a thumbs up.
Yeah, if everyone can hit the thumbs up, that'd be really good. There's nearly 500 people in here right now, and all you have to do is quickly come out of the chat, hit the thumbs up button, and that's it. That's all you got to do. You've only got to do it once. It's really easy, and you watch that number 184 grow. Oh, there, it's growing already. So yeah, that's all you got to do, because what happens is everyone, if they hit the thumbs up, lots of people in the replay get to see this video, and they get to see exactly what you're typing in the comments, okay? Because they can review the whole thing. So it's awesome, okay? So any information you want to share with people, if any of you guys want to hook up with other preppers, etc., put some stuff in the chat and you can find each other, and happy days. News as well. Now this was crazy. I think it was one supermarket. I think it was Morrison's. They could have been the last out of all of the main supermarket chains here in the UK. They have decided to abolish the best before dates on fresh food. Okay, so all UK supermarkets now have that, okay, which is weird. So, you know, you're going up to where the fresh fish is and stuff. You don't know how long it's been sat there because the best before date has been removed. But get this is really sly. Only people working in the supermarkets have like a barcode scanner, and there's a special code on that product. Only the people who work there can scan it, and they will know when that product is best before date is. The public, we're not allowed to know anymore. So all UK supermarkets have removed that. Apparently they're worried about food waste. Apparently it's been going on for years, which it probably has. You know, we know people, don't we, that
Absolutely.
you know, they buy something and the best before date's tomorrow.
Don't get wasted in my house.
And then the next day comes and they don't even look at it. They say, the date's today, throw it out. They don't even check it. So a lot of people who are of that mindset. Cornish Bob, hey, thanks for the flags, man. I know you weren't on the live stream, and thanks for the what was it? I think it was the rattlers on it. Went down a treat. You appreciate that. And speaking of the Cornish thing, if you can show the Doom Bar, this was brewed in Cornwall. So we're going with the Cornish theme here of Doom Bar. There it is. That is our beer of choice for this evening.
That's
so
my
9 o'clock, don't let us forget. Okay. So yeah, they've removed the best before dates, right? And only staff who have them certain guns can check when they are. And we're looking at WRAP. They call it RAP. They call it. It's the Waste and Resources Program. No dates on fruit and veg because of climate change. That is their sole reason for making that decision. So when you go to get fruit and vegetables in the supermarkets, there is going to be no dates on them. It's just going to be fruit and veg. So if it's in packaging, it's more difficult to check how fresh it is. If it's loose, you know, if you've got an idea, you can have a good clue of whether it's good to buy or not.
Squeeze it.
So yeah, basically, if you've got an apple on there and it's a bit wrinkly, probably don't get it. Okay. Oranges as well, if they feel like a bit crazy, a bit squidgy. Another thing of oranges, give the skin a good rub and smell it. If it smells of orange, it's good. If it doesn't smell of anything, it probably won't taste that good. But there's loads of things. let me see. So what we're going to do now is, this is all a bit random, okay, because I've been so busy and it's been a hell of a lot of crazy stuff, should we say, going on this week. It's all a bit random. So what I wanted to do was to touch on the winter that's literally just around the corner. Now, I think it was yesterday was officially the last day of summer. So we are now in autumn, okay? So you've probably noticed it already when you get up early in the morning. It's a little bit cooler in there. You've got a bit of moisture on the car and that sort of thing. Summer's gone, okay? Now we're in autumn. Autumn traditionally is harvest season for the crops. So we touched on briefly earlier that is going to change in a big way. And it's not until the yield reports start coming in, the availability of stuff, fresh food that's going to be coming in, is going to really sway people's choices when they go shopping. So we're talking about energy prices as well, because they're due to rise big time. When I moved into this small cottage in the middle of the mountains in Wales, our electricity bill was £27 a month. And I think it was April 1st, April Fool's Day, which is ironic. It is, isn't it?
It always will
It
be.
really is. It's lots happening on April 1st that you think, really? But yeah, April 1st, my electricity bill went from £27 to £38. I thought, wow, that's a bit of a jump considering I haven't really changed the usage. And I had a bill coming through to start from October, and it's jumped from £36 to £106. So there's 3 price points there, and it's gone up. Now, what they're going to do, like we said in the other live stream, the one before last, they are going to be introducing these price changes or updates every quarter. So every 3 months, your energy bill is going to change. Now, do you think it's going to change up or down? Silly question, really. But
I should
yeah.
reserve judgment.
So what you're looking at is every 3 months, your energy bills are going to go up. Okay, every 3 months. Now, to be honest, most of us and lots of people are right on that breadline, and you know the wages have stayed the same. Everything's going up. People's disposable income is just vanishing like that, and also people's savings. People have dipped into the savings. They've just gone like, phew, and some of them are gone. Mine's all gone now. My savings are gone. I've chose to invest in silver and food, real stuff, which I believe is going to help, especially over the next year and 2 years. Next year is going to be, I don't even want to talk about next year. It scares the crap out of me, to be honest. It really is bad. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about hints and tips of how to get through the winter. Okay, so there's a lot of people apparently in the UK who are strongly considering turning off their heating through winter. Now, how many people have actually lived in cold environments for a long period of time? Thanks very much for your donation, sir. First one of the tonight. Really appreciate that. That's Mr. Addy P. Have a point on me. Appreciate the streams. Thanks very much indeed, sir.
One from me.
Yeah,
Two from me.
that point's coming in about not long from now, so that's cool. So yeah, one of the best things everyone can get is a hot water bottle. All right. There's probably a lot of young people out there who just got no idea what that is. Basically, it's just a rubber bottle. Ed, thanks for the donation, buddy. Appreciate that. Look at that. Good evening. Yeah, let me see. What is your opinion on don't pay October 1st protesters? That's regarding energy prices. I've heard reports that people decide to just stop paying. So they'll just probably cancel their direct debits, okay? There's going to be some sort of time period before they actually shut that system off, gas or electric. You've really got to know what you're doing if you're going to be paying no electricity, okay? You're going to need to be off-grid. That's the only way. I mean, living without electricity through a British winter, think about it. No fridge. How are you going to keep your food cold? All of that food in the freezer. You know, people have screens, have internet, you know, Wi-Fi. You know, you have to have things in place before you decide to do that. That's my advice. Personally, I won't. My strategy is to try to earn more money to afford it. I would like to get some off-grid solar systems to the house. I'm planning on doing a series of videos to test how good they are and share with you my findings. We're trying to find a company to actually sponsor us and to do that. So that's going to be keep getting pushed, okay? Because
I'm going back to bank robbery.
you're going back to robbing banks. Well, good job on like doing keyboard stuff because it's all online now. So no, hot water bottles, right? A seriously good thing to do. But my thoughts going back to Ed, who's kindly donated. Yeah, anyone donates, I can see the messages come up straight away. Okay, so if anyone wants an urgent message done, that is a good way to do it. Yeah, I've heard people doing it, but time will tell. I think fair play to them for making a stand. But to be honest, if you really want to make a change in that, it needs to be the majority of the population to do it at the same time. I did hear reports that there's between 20 and 100,000 people who plan to do it. Now, 100,000 people out of 70 million is not that many. There needs to be at least 70% of the whole population decide to do that. And I think people will do that in time. Like I said, it's going to go up every 3 months. So when people get squeezed so hard, they're going to probably join along that. So I say fair play to them for giving it a go. But I do think you really need to think before you do that, because what you don't want to do is to be in a situation where your electricity gets cut off and then you're going to be forced to go on a key meter, which is even more expensive. So yeah, there's a lot to do. Gas, if you need like a winter's worth of gas and you need lots of gas bottles, get them now. 15 kilos, between 40 and 50 pound a bottle. Get as many of them as you can, store them away from the house. Don't put them all together, put them separately, and make sure they don't lie in direct sunlight. So that is that covered briefly. We're talking extremes now. Okay, so there's people probably watching this right now who are seriously worried about this winter coming, and you're not alone, right? Don't feel that you're alone. There's a lot of people out there who are bricking it, to be fair. So me and my partner, we got our head together and we've heard information about this over the years. So we decided to adopt our own method. So picture this, you're in a house, it's January, right? Proper winter time. January, February is real winter in my opinion. Okay, that's when it's bloody cold.
True.
And horrible. Okay, so forget like November and December, that's pretty much autumn, to be fair. But no, January, February is where it's going to be really, really difficult. Now, there are experts predicting that this winter is going to be harsh. Last winter was milder than usual, but very wet. So here in Wales, where I'm living, we should be having 3 foot of snow everywhere. We only had a few inches and it melted within hours. So this winter is going to be hard, so they say. So picture this, you're in a house, it's cold, you've got no gas, no central heating, but you've got electricity. You can just about afford to pay electric, but not gas. So it's cold. How are you going to keep warm? Well, I've always said a long time ago when I discovered doesn't matter if you've got £1,000 sleeping bag, it's the best one in the world. If you're freezing cold and you get in there, that sleeping bag won't work. You have to warm yourself up in order for the sleeping bag to work. Okay, so when it starts to get cold in the evening, do what you can to actually warm your body temperature up first. Get that warmed up first. You can do some light exercises, stuff like that. If you can afford it, make a hot cup of tea, get some warm liquid inside you to start warming your core up. Start moving around. Once you start to feel warm, start to put layers on. So layered clothing, okay? So you want thin like material like this. You want about 3 layers of that, but every layer has to be bigger than the next one. You need to have that air gap in between each layer, okay? So thermal long johns, the thermal base layer top, you can get them really, really cheap. In fact, we sell them at the bug out, they're only like £2.99. They're really cheap, and we sold loads recently. So they're really good to get. Base layers, get them done. You start to warm up. You start to put layers on top of it as you warm up. And what that actually does is your body heat's warming. The layers are trapping the insulation in the air. So to prevent your body heat escaping, that's going to keep you warm. So do that first before anything. It comes to bedtime or spending an evening. Now you can get, I would say, the largest bedroom in the house. You've probably got a double bed in the middle of that room. It sounds bizarre what I'm going to say, but think about it, okay? It's cold. The size of that room is quite big, Okay, so whatever heating you're going to have in there, it's going to require a lot of heat to heat that room. Put a tent up. I know that sounds weird. Put a tent up on top of your double bed. Okay, so the double bed will be spaced off the floor. You will have your mattress that's giving you your insulation. All right. On top of that, you can put 1 or 2 blankets on top of your mattress. Put your sheet on top of that, so you're insulated underneath. On top of that, you're going to be having anything you feel you need to. Duvets, sheets, blankets, all of the different layers on top of you to keep warm. And once you've got that tent over the top of you, on top of your bed, on top of the tent, you want to insulate that further, because the heat that's coming out of your body, that's warming up the bed and the bedclothes, is slowly going to move out into the air. So if you can trap that warm air in a small space, ideally a dome tent over your double bed. On top of your tent, you want to put layers on as well. So blankets and duvets on top of the tent. So you're in fact making a 21st century Western igloo. There you go, you've heard it here first. So that's what you're doing.
True.
And all you're going to probably need in there is probably 1 candle, believe it or not. Okay, you're going to be really careful that you don't knock it over, set fire to everything. But like I said in all my videos that I talk about using flame for heating, always have a carbon monoxide detector with you. Okay, you can pick them up for about £10. They will last 10 years with 1 battery in there. Okay, so what basically is, you've got a confined space, you've got a flame. What does a flame need? It needs oxygen. Okay, so all the oxygen that's in that space is feeding that flame. So all the time that oxygen is disappearing into that flame, the oxygen level is getting lower. But when it gets lower, the carbon monoxide detector will sound, and that will tell you that the oxygen levels in your immediate environment are too low and too dangerous. Open the tent, get some air in, open the window quickly, whatever it is, just to get oxygen in there, and then go again. Okay, that goes with any flamed heating in a confined space. So that was one idea that I had at extreme. Okay, so we're talking extreme. You're in a house, it's freezing cold. You need to spend an evening there, you need to go to sleep there, etc. That will make it more bearable than just lying in a bed with no heating on, shivering. Okay, what else is there? Here we go. This is from Chris Lee. Chris, hi dude. Oh my god, it is. It's the same guy. Now, Chris Lee, you can see him in the chat right now. He is the guy who very kindly made me some graphics, my logos, etc. So, Chris Lee, if everyone can say, Chris, you're awesome, that would make his day. And thanks for donating, dude. You didn't have to chuck a $5 there, but I really appreciate every penny that counts. Been a short while, but I hope you and the family are well. Yeah, it's crazy, but we're hanging on in there. Hopefully it won't be too extreme. Here in Bodmin, we're electric only. Dude, we're electric only here too. We're out in the mountains. We've got this thick, 2-foot thick stone wall cottage with tiny windows. We've got the log burner there that's heating up the whole home. The only electricity that we use is the lighting really, and the pump, because that fire, that wood burner, requires an electric pump to pump the water around to heat the radiators up, etc. So when we've got no electricity, we've got no pump. When we've got no pump, we can't really light that fire. So I've got gas bottles in reserve. So yeah, it's all about thinking ahead, thinking all sorts of things around it. Okay. So yeah, what else have we got here? Yeah, ways to keep warm. You touched on it earlier. You know, when you say about people out on the streets and stuff, I mean, what did you say about that?
A very, very simple solution is newspaper between the layers of clothing that you put on. It's what people on the street use. People of my age,
4 Rise 13, yeah,
in the middle to late 70s,
mm-hmm.
will remember the colds of the 50s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll just give you a very, very slow description of my house in the 50s. It's a terrace house, no central heating, 1 fire in the main room, coal. Our kitchen had 1 old-fashioned style gas oven top, and the roof of our kitchen then was a single pane of glass.
As for all the windows.
As for the window,
No double glazing there.
no double glazing.
Yeah.
So our roof in the kitchen, layers of glass layered together, and that was it. And in those days, we did have 2-3 foot of snow, which meant my dad, because my mum died when I was young, my dad had to get out of the bedroom window with his big broom to try and push it off the roof,
Yeah.
and then come down to the front, stand on a ladder, and then try to pull the rest of it off the roof. Now you can imagine that when you want to cook something, you could very, very easy crack the glass off the roof.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
And we did have ice on the inside of our windows.
I remember them days.
We never had duvets and stuff like that. We had blankets and other bits. And my favourite was my dad, who was a dustman and could get virtually anything. What he got for me was an old Royal Air Force greatcoat.
Oh, classic.
So I was in bed. And don't forget then, you just had your run-of-the-mill pyjamas. And we didn't have hot water bottles, as Darren said, of the rubber type. We had stone hot water bottles.
Bloody hell, yeah, you remember those ones? Yeah, those ceramic type things, weren't they? Bloody hell.
So you went to bed, you pulled the cover over you, and that was it. No warmth in the room whatsoever.
You can probably see your breath, can't you?
You could see your breath. And when you looked out, inside of the glass, which is a single pane of glass again, had ice on the middle, which you can actually, we used to do it, get our finger down, write our names and rude suggestions and stuff like that.
Wow.
So again, people of our age group would know what a really, really cold winter was. And this was every year.
Yeah, it's the norm back then.
It was normal.
Yeah.
Summer was hot, winter was very cold with lots of snow. So obviously as you get older, as I am now, you do need a bit of warmth.
Yeah, yeah.
So it is a case, I do exactly what Darren would say. I've got thermals and stuff like that, and I layer myself up gradually. And again, our old council flat as such is very, very well insulated.
Hey, tell me about the cold hands and cold water.
Well, again,
this is a weird one. I've never heard this before.
This is another thing.
Yeah.
In the 80s, I was a boat builder and repairer on glass fibre boats. When they were damaged, you had to fill the cracks in and stuff, then you had to rub them down. So you had wet and dry paper roughly. You had a bucket of water. Obviously that was fine in the summer because it was cold. Winter time, most of the other workers would go inside and get lukewarm water. But they were always complaining that their fingers were stinging.
Yeah, cold hands and warm water. Yeah, that's
It was always stinging. And I would say to them, no, just get a bucket of cold water. Put your hands in, leave them there for a couple of minutes. And your hands and body will become accustomed to that.
Yeah.
You just carried on working. And I can honestly say, I never had any tingling fingers or anything like that. That's what the other people done. So
you know, because what happened, his hands actually fell off. I'm only joking. Stomp. But no, that's it. That's a weird one, that, because who remembers going to the beach when it's summertime and it's really, really hot, but you put your toe in the water, it's freezing. Oh God. But you somehow get the courage and you go in and you go straight under the water. And the longer you stay in that water, the warmer it feels. And I'll tell you what, it's absolutely right. Your body adjusts to that shift in temperature, okay? So that's all you're trying to do. You're getting your body to adjust to the temperature. And putting your freezing cold hands in cold water, which is probably warmer than your fingers, absolutely helps. And of course, when they dry out and stuff, they're accustomed to it and you don't really feel that cold. So that is another weird tip, which doesn't sound like it'll work, but it actually does. All right, so that's cool. Just quickly, thank you very much for the donation. Full Rice 13. He suggested a Cornish flower pot heater. And funny you should say that, because my partner, she's Cornish, and she said, all you want is a ceramic flower pot with a candle in there, and you put it underneath, and that heats up and it radiates heat. And I've heard people, and I've tried it myself, and there seems to be a lot of people say, it doesn't work, it's rubbish, it's all a myth. But it does work in a confined space. Now we're talking, just say your average 2 to 3 man dome tent on top of a double bed, okay, with, like I just mentioned, all the insulation, etc., and all of the materials.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, he put something like that in there. That it's got to be a terracotta thick plant pot, and it's going to have that hole in. You turn it upside down with the candle inside it, and the candle will heat up that clay, which is now terracotta, and it will just radiate. It will just expand the heat. So you're going to get a lot more heat from your candle if you use that method than just the candle. So yeah, 4Rise13 Cornish flower pot heater, absolutely fantastic. And once again, thanks for your kind donation, sir. That really is awesome. So yeah, there's lots of ways.
Another little one.
Yeah, go on in.
This is a very quick one. Most people will know it. You've got cold hands and you're out and you've got no gloves or nothing. You just do this.
Wowee. So you rub your wrists together.
You rub your wrists together. Try it now, and I guarantee you, your hands will get warm.
Blimey. What I used to do is just put my hands under my armpits like this.
That's another one.
Or down in your bits. So if you're struggling to do this,
geez, I'm just going to try that.
You can put one up there and one down there where your giblets are. Okay, get them down there and just clamp it on there. Put your thumb in there as well and just hold. Okay, and then gradually, your freezing cold white hands will start to warm up. Okay, that will give you enough sensation to be able to improve your situation and to do something else. But that is the immediate go-to. So bits and pits and wristy rubs will absolutely get some circulation and some warmth back into your digits. So if you've got really cold hands, okay, with this winter coming up, a lot of people know this stuff, but not everyone does. Okay, so forgive me if you know all this stuff already. Trust me, there's people out there who don't know this. Okay, and we're trying to help everyone. So thanks for sitting tight and bearing with us with that one. But like I said, old newspapers scrumped up and put in your clothes. All it's going to do is that's going to create an insulation barrier. Okay, so your body heat will get trapped in there and stop it evaporating and going away. It may sound crazy, but I'll tell you this much. If you're one of them people who said, yeah, I'm not going to pay my energy bill in October, when it starts getting really cold, you're going to need to improve your situation. Okay, so absolutely, I've been saying it since 2012. Whatever you do, make sure that you've got off-grid heating. Okay, most of us into this preparedness mindset. Here we go. Sorry, a super chat's just come up. This is from James Nitworth. Thanks very much for your donation, sir. Breaking news: just in, Russia identify. What's it say? Indefinitely suspends Nord Stream gas pipeline to Europe. Oh my God, have they confirmed it?
We're all going to be turned off.
Bloody hell. Do you know what? We're going to be mentioning some of that as we go through about the blockade. Now, that's interesting. But yeah, at the moment, we're just talking about hints and tips of how to keep warm. There's wicked information coming up towards the end of this live stream, so don't go away, okay? You don't want to miss it. I've just done too many notes. All right, there's loads on there, and we're going through it. But I really wanted to try and help people with the trying to keep warm, because there is a lot. And I think the guy in the super chat said earlier, there's a lot of people planning on turning off their energy this winter. Now, if you've never done something like this before, if you've never spent time outdoors, you're going to really find it difficult, okay? It's weird because my main job now is I'm a survival instructor. I spend a lot of time outdoors. I live in Wales. The climate, we have 4 seasons in the day. It's bonkers, okay? So you need to adjust to your environment, okay? So your average environment, say, your room, your house in the winter is 21 to 22 degrees C. Everything's fine and dandy, okay? You've got food in the freezer, you've got food in the cupboards. Everything's cool. But guess what? When they've ramped up these energy prices like this, trust me, that 22C to heat up your home through the winter is going to get so expensive. At some point, you're going to find it almost impossible, then impossible, to afford to do that. So we're thinking about those times, okay? Only those with a lot of money will be fine, but there's a lot of people who are struggling now. So this is just information for you guys who haven't got much money, like myself and lots of us out there. It's all good tips to try and stay warm, all right? Now, like I said, off-grid heaters. For years, I've been banging on about paraffin heaters, okay? Paraffin heaters, in my opinion, are awesome. You can pick them up on eBay. Go do an eBay search, just put paraffin heater, and companies to look for are Valor, That's VALOUR.
Yeah.
And they are awesome. And I can't remember the other ones now. Aladdin, they're good ones. So they're two good manufacturers, British made paraffin heaters. You can find them on eBay. Do a search for nearest first, okay? Because trust me, no one's going to be posting these because they're big. You're going to have to drive there or arrange someone to drop them to you via a vehicle or collection, okay? So search nearest distance first on eBay, paraffin heaters. Get that, bid for it, whatever you feel you need to pay for it. Trust me, it's going to be bloody important and it's going to save your ass, okay? It really will.
Have you got cook off of it?
Yeah, I've got all sorts, which I can do all sorts because luckily for me, I've been doing this for years. Some people who have subscribed recently have only just started to realise this stuff and haven't got anything. So this is for you guys. Get yourself a paraffin heater, Valor, and there's another company called Aladdin, all right? Do an eBay search, get them. Once you've got it, take it home, right? What you need to do is inspect the wick, okay? It's like a material belt that's tightly woven, okay? It's going to be cotton and that sort of stuff. You need to look at that, see how much you've got, what condition it is, and do some research. You're going to find all the information you need, which will be written somewhere on the model of your paraffin heater. Then you go on eBay and you get the wick that will fit that particular model. Now listen to this, right? Be careful because there's lots of wicks that look the same, which are going to be too fat, too wide, too thin, and they're not going to work. It has to be the right one for your paraffin heater. Make sure you've got spare wicks, okay? Once you've got those, then you need paraffin oil. Now, personally, I used to go, I've got what I need now. I go on eBay and I use a company. They trade under the name of Rye Oils. So RYE Oils. They're based down in Sussex, southern UK. And they do it wholesale, okay? You can buy 20-litre great big plastic drums, okay? Full up with paraffin. Now, you can get the bog standard stuff or you can get the purified stuff. The purified stuff doesn't really smell. It's like lamp oil, but it's bloody expensive, okay? If you've got the money, I recommend that you get the pure stuff. If you haven't got the money like myself, I just get the normal paraffin. Now, here's a tip, okay? If any of you guys haven't tried this before, you get your paraffin heater, all right? You put the new wick in there, you give it a good clean, you check it all. It's as clean as you can get it, okay? Because some of it are going to be old. They're going to be in someone's loft for 30 years. They'll be dusty, they'll be manky. Give them a good clean, okay? Refurb them. Use like vinegar. Get it all clean. Once it's clean, you've got the wick in there. You put your paraffin in there. You must take it outside of your house, okay? So open your back door in your garden or go out the front door, whatever suits, okay? Go outside, light it. Adjust the wick so you've got the flame not too strong and not too little, but you'll get it once you've tried it a few times. You want it sort of in the middle. You don't want it burning black smoke, okay? You want a blue flame, don't you? You don't want it yellow, okay? Yeah. So once you've got that blue flame, okay, just right, not too high, you leave it outside for, I'd say 2 minutes, okay? You don't really need to do it any longer than that. 2 minutes. What that will do is that will burn off the smell, okay? That will burn off the carbon that's been in there, which gives it that fumey, smelly smell. So I know it sounds weird. You spent all this money on paraffin, you're outside, and you're burning it outside. But listen, just 2 minutes. Once you've done it for 2 minutes, then you bring it into the house very carefully. Can't stress that enough, okay? Very carefully. You bring it into the house, you put it into the room that you're going to spend all of your time in, and you need to do the insulation. So we're talking, make sure that you've got all of your windows sealed, okay? You don't want any draft in there. You want thickest curtains you can get, okay? Get them lined, get them from charity shops, get them from auctions, wherever it is. Get thick, heavy curtains, because a lot of your heat from your home, believe me, will go through your windows, believe it or not. It doesn't matter how good you think your double glazing is, you are going to lose heat through them windows, all right? So make sure that you can seal your home. An old favourite, which happened to me, which I may have said on another live stream, as at the last house where I was outside Portsmouth, there was a really old-fashioned gas heater in the front room, which never got used. And when we had our gas engineer come round to do inspections and tests every now and again, he would check it and he'd say, that gas fire there, he said, it's pointless. He said, you might as well just be burning £20 notes, because the amount of gas it's going to need to keep that warm and to warm your home, ridiculous. So we never used it. But here's the thing, we took the heater out, and we looked inside. There's a big gap, and in that big gap, honestly, you can feel and hear the wind whistling down there. So because that gas heater wasn't being used, right, I decided to get loads of newspaper and ram it right up into that gap. And honestly, that cold draft stopped. And of course, all of the heat in the home wasn't literally just going up that hole and straight out into the chimney. Okay, so you're trying to retain the heat that you're generating in your room, in your home, to keep nice and warm, because it's going to get frigging cold January, February. Okay, not now. Mark my words, January, February, there's going to be headline news saying worst winter in years. You can imagine the Express, can't you? With that one?
Oh, they'll all be
The
coming
Daily
out,
Express, they're pigs. No, you tell them what they're like. Go on.
Well, I don't think anybody needs telling. They all know the stories. They all know what goes on.
It is bonkers, though, isn't it?
Darren, I'll taught Darren lots of stuff, and he's taught me lots of stuff.
Yeah,
One of the things he taught me was learn to read the news. Learn to say exactly what they're saying.
Yeah.
So it's the news. I don't watch the news anymore on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I do my own research on lots of stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
And also the stories in the newspapers. Read them, digest them, laugh at them, and throw them away. And then do your own research.
Yeah, you need to
It's
read
out
it.
there.
Yeah, read it with filters, isn't it? You can
Yeah,
see
you
some of it's
you
true.
just look at it and you're going, they must be mad.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, they are.
They just want to make money, don't they? But the Express is a classic. I guarantee you, right, over the next 4 months, starting from tomorrow, you're going to see headlines in the Daily Express saying Britain faces its worst winter in living history.
Yeah, living memory.
Forecasted like snow drifts across the entire UK. They're murder. They're murder. And every year nothing happens. Okay, all they're doing is they're trying to make money selling them damn newspapers. All right, so that's crazy. It absolutely is bonkers. Oh man. God, I forgot what I was saying now. I bloody hate that when it happens. Oh,
Leave the
geez.
media alone. Let them bugger it up on their own.
Yeah, but like yeah, going back to like you know, you need to insulate your home. Okay, you need to make sure you're nice and warm, because it is going to get cold. And like I said, January, February, it's going to be frigging cold.
You've still got to sometimes get fresh air going through your home as well.
Yeah, and do you know what, Carlos? He said that. He said, yeah, make sure that you've got a bit of a draft. So yeah, absolutely agree. So what I do is, first of all, I would seal up your entire home, seal it airtight. Okay. And then what you do is, when you need that draft, you can open your window and you can control exactly where the draft is going to be coming from. What you don't want is loads of drafts all around the homes where you don't really know where they are. Okay, you move into a really cold room and it's freezing. You don't know where the drafts are. You know. Oh, just quickly. Oh, thanks very much. Reality check. Thanks for the kind donation. It pops up. I can't miss it. It's a great big yellow sticker here. Nord Stream shut down indefinitely, so gas is going to go ballistic. The G7 imposed a max price on Russian oil. So in reality, yeah, it is. It's crazy. And you know what? Funny you should say that, because we haven't done a commodities check. We did earlier before we come online. Now, you're looking at gold. Gold has gone up a little bit. It's at 1,714 at the moment. That's in US dollars, by the way. All of these are in US dollars. That's how the standard is set, okay? If you want to convert it, go for it. Go on XE, which is Shay, which is not Blackwater. Sorry about that. But yeah, anyway, diverse. Silver, that's gone up now. That bounced down to 17. It's up to $1,806 a troy ounce now. So the silver's doing a bit crazy. As we know, it's manipulated. You've only got to look at these prices here. Gold, platinum, palladium, silver. Silver's at 18. All the rest are 800, 2,000, 1,700. Why is silver so low? As we know, it's all manipulated, but I suspect not next year, but the year after, it's going to skyrocket. You're talking.
It's a long-term saving thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely silver's a long. It's definitely not a short. If you want a short, gold would be good. Gold's going to be 2,000 by Christmas. So if anyone's got the money, get it now. You're going to make $300 an ounce straight away. We're looking at natural gas. That's gone down a little bit. That's at $8.17. Let me see. Heating oil, that has gone up. That's at $94.84 per 100 litres. Okay. Now, this is interesting. Now, I've been studying the markets with the oils. Now, Brent and crude currently at $92 and $86 a barrel. Okay. So they are just in a safe zone. When it starts going over that $100 a barrel, you will see petrol prices and diesel prices, US and UK, go crazy again. All right. So keep an eye on Brent and crude oil. Okay. Brent is what is the markets are traded on. So ideally, you want to look more at Brent than you would crude. But yeah, once that goes over $100, right, make sure you only got a small window at that point. Just keep your eye on it. That's the time to go and fill a car up and a few jerry cans. Because the lowest price that I've seen here in the UK is 179.9. That was down in where is it? Abergavenny, that's it. Abergavenny. We was down there earlier on the way back from Bristol, picking that up. And yeah, it was under 180, which is crazy. It's 181.9 in Bilf, Wales. So yeah, that's cool. What's the fuel prices are where you guys are? We want to see, because as I say, it's just hovering under that $100 a barrel, and it'd be interesting to see if anyone is noticing any price changes. Okay, so what have you got here? Diesel is at 191, 176 is cool, wicked. 167, 181. Yeah, so none of it's topping £2, which is good. That's definitely good to see. Look at that. Oh, congratulations. We've got 935 people in the chat. It'd be awesome to see 1,000 in here. Can you imagine that? That's a big, fat, juicy number.
You go for that.
Which is wicked. So, what are we called? Wow. So, yeah, we are looking at pretty much just stabilised fuel across the UK. Now, here is... Let me just read this. I've just got a sec. Oh yeah, that's one thing that I didn't do. In actual fact, did I make a fact check? No, not fact check. Let me see. I'm going to do a search now because I didn't have time to write this down. Let me see. Where are we? So yeah, it's interesting seeing those fuel prices. So thanks to everyone putting those up. Let me see. I need to precede that with daily, I believe. Right, bear with me a sec. We're just checking something. Here we go. Now, this was passed on to me by Prepper Granny, which is awesome. And listen, I've just remembered, right? This is important. Right, a hashtag has been created. Right now, you women out there who are watching, or the girls right now, write this down. Okay, write it down with a scrap bit of pen, scrap bit of paper. Type it onto your phone or whatever you do, or just go back and listen to this again. Write this down. You want to look into a hashtag which has been started on Instagram, and it's called Women Who Prep UK. Women Who Prep UK. Type that in, and you're going to see lots of women who are just joining the prepper scene right now, and that's a good place for lots of women to get together and exchange ideas. Okay. So this link was passed to me by Prepper Granny. Thanks very much. You're absolutely awesome and really on the ball, and it's good to see. We're talking about the cost of running electrical appliances in your home. So this will give you a heads up of how you rethink how you're going to be using your energy. Okay. So we're going to scroll down. We're looking at the bathroom. Apparently this is on average. Okay. This is an average price. Okay, some houses are going to be up or down depending on how energy efficient your appliances are. If they're old, they're not going to be efficient. If they're new, and if they're A triple plus rated or something, they'll probably be a bit better. But on average, okay, now let that sink in. On average, right? In the bathroom, so if you shower up to 5 minutes, that's going to cost 45p. You shower once a day for a week, 7 times 45p. That's just having a shower. All right. If you've got one of those plug-in the wall electric heated towel rail, that's going to be 13 pence for half an hour. Okay, so if you want your towels nice and warm, and you've got like one of those Dimplex heaters in the bathroom, remember them things?
I've still got one.
Yeah, we've got one. I don't think I've turned it on. I'm scared to, in case the smell of the dust and it blows up and costs me £4 a minute.
I'm asking regular.
But yeah, that's cool. But as I'm saying, that's just the bathroom, right? So a 5-minute shower, 45 pence, a heated towel roll, 13p for half an hour. Now we go on to the bedroom, right? For you girls or you guys with the long hair, if you use a hairdryer for 10 minutes, that's going to be 10 pence just to use a hairdryer. Okay. If you've got a bedside light, a little lamp, that's going to be 3 pence an hour. If you use an electric blanket, right, that's going to be 20p for 2 hours. So if you use your electric blanket from, say, September till March, you know, how many nights in that time period? 20p a night. That's a lot of money. Okay, it's all going to add up, because don't forget, you know, the money that you did have is being squeezed into these energy prices. So it really does make you think. Incidentally, before I read any further, I wanted to share this. What I'd done, we moved here last Halloween, believe it or not, the night before Halloween. And obviously we had Christmas just around the corner. I decided to get 300 LED white lights, okay? And I put them all the way around the perimeter of the ceiling in this big open plan room in the cottage, right? Now, the other day, during my research, I checked it. I checked the plug. And in the plug, you've got a label where the fairy lights are. Of course, it's got the button on the plug. You can have it doing chasing things and strobing. I just want them on, right? I don't want that fancy disco in my house. And I looked at it, and the power consumption is 2.5 watts for 300 fairy lights, Christmas tree lights, okay? And without the lights turned off, they really do work amazingly well.
We do.
So we've got 2 lights, one here and one over there above the kitchen dining table. And when I looked at those light bulbs, they're energy-saving light bulbs. They're 15 watts and 15 watts. So them 2 light bulbs together are 30 watts. The little Christmas tree lights around this house gives out roughly about the same amount of light for 2.5 watts. Now, just making that change will significantly make differences to your energy consumption. Seriously, my advice will be, when Christmas comes, go to supermarkets. It's usually as soon as they come out, they're going to be on offer. Okay, now you want to get as many fairy lights as you can. All right, now 300 fairy lights will go around, I would say, an average size living room. Absolutely. And some, okay, and it'll give you a good amount of light. I am considering getting another lot. Okay, I've already got some in storage. I'm going to get another lot, and I'm going to strategically place the lights in the areas where I feel is going to be beneficial for where we sit and where we live and where I work in the kitchen. Okay, so you place them wherever you want. You draw and pin up there, or attach them any way you need to. Okay, and then, you know, that's going to be 5 watts, and that is more than enough light. Okay, and also you can dim them, which is cool. And of course, LED lights, they're pretty much going to run for donkey's years. All right. So just by making that little switch alone, you know, he's going to save a fortune. 1,052 people in the chat. Awesome. If you can hit the thumbs up, it'll be good. Hit the thumbs up. Hit them up. Because the more thumbs up, it's nearly 9 o'clock. I know what it's gathering for. I know what it's gathering for. So yeah, if everyone can come out to the chat real quick and just hit that thumbs up, all right, it helps, because everyone gets to see what you're typing in the chat. Okay, everyone can share and learn something. If you want to, like, you couldn't wait till 9 o'clock. He's actually pinged it already.
9 o'clock. Look.
Yeah, look on there. You got like, you got 1 minute. Right, yeah.
This is, excuse me. This is.
Oh yeah, that was that bloody handmade watching Start, wasn't it? Or is that one from the market?
Excuse me, it must be 19p.
19p for a timepiece. Oh, it's better than my one. I ain't got none. So yeah, what we're going to do, 9 o'clock, what we'd like to do, if anyone having a beer right now, it's been a long week, I'm going to say cheers. Doombar o'clock, it's time for a beer. Forget that orange.
Can I just say a little message to a friend of mine?
Oh, go for it.
I'll just say, I won't put a name up, a little dog called Tuck. I've been trying to contact her via my message system to tell her I've arrived safe and well. Unfortunately, it's not going through. But if you're watching, I think you may be.
Yeah.
Cheers, I've arrived.
Yeah, it's safe and sound. Yeah, I'm not going to say a name, but I know you are. Yeah, the main problem is because we're right out in the mountains, you know, any sort of phone signals that is just not really happening. So yeah, we're going to go back to these energy little tips that we're getting from this link that was researched on the internet.
I've got those blue Christmas lights, by the way.
Blue. Don't put blue lights on because it does your sleeping. So if you get a blue light filter on your phone, that's why that one. As soon as it gets to 8 o'clock, it goes. No,
it won't be in the bedroom. It'll be in the main room. It's blue because I'm a Pompey boy.
I know it does affect your sleep. You be careful with blue lights, I'll tell you. Right, here we go.
I should go red then.
Oh my God, you know what that's gonna do. Yeah, I listen to this. All of you guys and girls who like to use the Hoover. Every time you use the Hoover for 1 hour is 73 pence. Okay, so I think a lot of people are going to calm their Hoover usage. Myself, you know, if I lived on my own and it was me, I would probably only Hoover once a week. But that's just me. I do know that there's some seriously deranged people out there who use the Hoover 4 or 5 times a day. Please stop it. Okay, you don't need to use it.
I've got a battery G-Tech. Oh, shouldn't say the name.
Ironing. If anyone wants to iron in their clothes, it's going to be 94p for an hour. So if you're standing there ironing all them clothes, personally, I haven't used an iron in 7 years. I just literally, you know, when the clothes they come out of the machine, we hang them up, they dry, they get hang up in the wardrobe. You know what I mean? It's really, you don't need to, buddy, unless you work in an office and you need to wear a shirt and you need to iron it. If that's the life you want to do, then you know, I guess you're going to have to. If you use a lawnmower, that's 45p for half an hour. Absolutely bonkers. Moving on to the kitchen where most of our gadgets are. Okay, now this is a bit scary hearing this. All right, now the average dishwasher going on full wash will use 77 pence for one cycle. And this is a true story. When I was on my way to collect my dad at Bristol Temple Meads train station from Wales, we got to this T-junction. Got his phone. And there's a T-junction. On the other side of the road was a dishwasher and a sign on the top saying free. So, and then I read this and I thought, bloody hell, people are waking up that using a dishwasher is bloody expensive. And do you really need to use a dishwasher? Okay. So it really makes you think about what you do. Okie dokie. So if you boil a kettle, so if you're one of these guys who likes Christ knows how many cups of tea or coffee a day, this is going to kick you in the nuts. I'm lucky that I only have one hot cup of coffee first thing in the morning. The rest of it's water. So I don't spend any money boiling a kettle all the time. It's crazy. So if you boil a kettle to make 3 cups of tea, that's 6 pence a go. All right. So I know people who are out there who have like 10 cups of tea. You know, that's 60p a day. 6. It's ridiculous. It costs a lot of money just to have. You know what I mean? You've got to be really careful. What else is there? Very high cost associated with a washing machine, and it will cost £1.56 for one. Pardon me, that bloody beer! What the hell? Whew. God, I can smell that stew. God damn. Yeah, yeah. Where is it? The washing machine, £1.56 for one cycle. Wow, and that's if you wash it at 40 degrees C. All right. Moving along, tumble dryer. Unfortunately, we need a tumble dryer because we can't hang stuff up outside in the winter. It's just pointless. Which is £1.17 for a 45-minute cycle. Wow. Jesus. I think she uses it about 4 or 5 times a week. That will have to calm down. Toaster. So if you like making toast, there's 8 pence to use your toaster. This is an interesting one. Now, if you're running a fridge, it's £1.44 a day. That's how much it costs to run your fridge. If you're one of these unfortunate people that have these great big American fridges, it's going to be a hell of a lot higher than that, okay? In fact, we're lucky we've got that small fridge. I know a bit about it, but it's going to be a lot cheaper than them big fridges. So what you might see is you might see a trend in people getting smaller, more energy efficient appliances, okay? People might actually just review what they've got in their homes, and do you know what? It's going to cost so much to have that running. It's crazy. Let me see what else we got here. Here it is an important tip. Meanwhile, the typical oven will cost £1.14 for 1 hour, run at 180 degrees C. Now, here's the thing. I've got used to using my cooker without really using the oven. Okay, the oven, as we've just heard, is very expensive to use. So when you think about it, costs £1.14 for an hour. So that's what 60p for half an hour. So if you put chips in there, okay, frozen chips, and the frozen chips for that amount that you put in there cost about, I don't know, 50p. You know, it's going to cost you, you know, that again just to actually cook them. So I would say try and go along with only using the hobs and only using the oven if you really have to. Okay, if you're inclined to go out and buy frozen foods and all that sort of thing, it's going to require an oven. Try and think differently, because it's going to cost a lot of money to cook your food from frozen in the oven. All right. So moving along, that means it will cost 28.5p to cook a frozen pizza, 86p for a jacket potato. Bloody hell. £1.05 for a lamb chop, and £1.71 for a large frozen lasagna. Just because it's cheap, it's ready meals, it's crap, it's no good for you, you're going to get stung on the arse by putting it in the oven and using even more money. Okay, so it's not really good for your budget and your health to use frozen foods, ready meals in the oven. That's how it's coming out now. Using the television for an hour and a half would be 16 pence. Hey, I don't want to tell you. Ka-ching, saving a fortune right there. Games consoles cost more. Here we go. With a 2-hour game session is 20 pence. Doesn't sound a lot, but if your kids are playing their computer games for 5 or 6 hours an evening every day for a year, trust me, those 20p or 10p an hour is going to add up. All right. Even having the lights on will cost 90p if you've got 5 40-watt bulbs for an evening. So yeah, like we said earlier, fairy lights, that's the way to go in my opinion, and that's only discovering it myself. I haven't read it anywhere, but that's what I found. If you use an electric heater in your lounge, that will cost you around £4.68 for 3 hours. So if you've got an electric heater in your lounge, wow, just for 3 hours, that's nearly £5.
It's an element that heats up.
Yeah.
Use a motor to run a fan to blow the heat out.
It uses a lot of power.
A lot.
Yeah, even though they're cheap to buy, because I
got one, but we got that for a different reason. But it's used very little now.
I know, yeah.
And I'll sometimes use a halogen heater.
Yeah, as I say, it's all costing a lot of money. Charging your phone will cost you 4 pence an hour. Okay.
No. Oh,
so,
yeah, sorry.
So what I tend to do is I'll get my my USB power bank. Okay, charge that up. Then I just charge my phone from that. It works out cheaper that way. A laptop costs about 3 pence an hour. I know this doesn't sound like a lot of money, all right, but the analogy that I've come up with to get my point across about these prices, okay, now a lot of people probably in the chat right now are probably saying it's not a lot of money, don't be silly. Think of it like this. If you go backpacking, right, and you're going for a long hike, we're talking 10 to 20 miles hike, okay, you want to get your backpack ideally as light as possible. Now when you're packing your backpack, you're putting that and you think, oh, that only weighs a little bit, that'll be all right. And then you pack something, oh, that's light. Oh, that's a bit heavy, but oh, it's not that much heavy, put it in there. Guess what? By the time you pack that bag, it's really heavy, okay? And you put it on and think, bloody hell. And then it's not till you start walking that journey, it starts to hurt, you start to get injuries, all because of carrying too much weight than you're used to. It's exactly the same with these energy prices on these items, okay? All of these little lightweight and heavy weight items in your backpack gets more and more, okay? So all of these prices are little, but the more combined, it's going to get more and more expensive. Now, this is all due to come into effect on October 1st. So we're only about a month away, guys. It's not long, all right? So we're going to go back into the chat. I've been, sorry, guys, I've been out of it then. I was looking at all of that. What the hell? How am I supposed to read that? Mamma mia, what the hell is this? It's gone bonkers. Well, all I can say to the moderator is good luck placing that. Absolutely bonkers. Right, time is absolutely fine, by I've got loads more to cover. We've gone through all of that, blah, 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 blah. Also, incidentally, because there is a lot of new subscribers coming to the channel, some of you may or may not know, I actually run survival courses and prepper courses. We don't know that no one else in the UK is offering prepper courses. Now, there is a link underneath the video. There is a bugging out course, which basically means it's a course designed to anyone living in a city to get from a city to a safe location away from the chaos that's coming down the road. Some of you guys who have never looked at this before, there's a link below the video. Click on it and it's got survival courses. That will take you through for more information if any of you want to learn outdoor survival. It's based in Mid Wales. It's a 2-day course. It's a one-night stopover, and I guarantee you, if you're new to this, you're going to learn loads of stuff. Okay, we're going to learn about why to bug out, what to bug out for, what to carry, what not to carry, how to light a fire in all weathers, how to set up shelters, how to navigate with map and compass, loads of stuff. Okay, and lots of tactical things which are taught in the military, which not many civilians get to understand, but it's a guide to help you get out of Dodge without being seen. Sunny, hey, hi honey. That's Sunny from America. She's awesome. She's good friends of us. Half a cuppa because of the money. You appreciate that, honey. Oh, awesome. Oh, you're a bloody star. Yeah, everything's getting damn expensive. Yeah, she's out in America, bless her.
Whereabouts?
Whereabouts? I think she's Ohio, isn't it? Is it Ohio, Sunny? I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, Sunny, if you're new, there's a hashtag that's just been started on Instagram, and it's called Women Who Prep UK. Type that in and you'll catch up with loads of female preppers who are just starting to get together, which is awesome. If anyone wants to check me out on Instagram, if you go onto my YouTube channel page, there's some little icons on the top right where my logo is, and you'll see Instagram. You can click on there, it takes you straight through to my Instagram account. I also do like daily posts on there, okay, because I haven't got time to do YouTube stuff all the time. So that's all good in the hood. Basically, I heard this a few weeks ago now. I don't know if everyone knows, but the UK, the British government have offered a contracted tender for British military ration packs. They're called ORPs, Operational Ration Packs. They've put an order in from, what is it, 50 million to 250 million, I think it was. That's the size of the order, which is a substantial amount of money to be spent on getting ration packs. And guess what? They want those before the end of next year. Okay, so that makes you think about a lot of things. And also they've put an extra order on top of that for cold weather ration packs. Now, I do know from good authority that the Royal Marines are currently on operational training north of Russia in the cold climates, okay, in the Arctic Circle. So maybe it's for them, maybe it's for their ongoing training, or maybe they are putting things in plan with the grand solar minimum. If you don't know what the grand solar minimum is, research it, okay? It's not down to what the humans are doing to the planet. It's based on what the sun's doing, and they're just using us as an excuse to get money out of us in a basic way. Another bit of news, which is it was breaking not so long ago. It was 3,000 tons of corn that was just come from Ukraine. It was on a cargo ship, has capsized and blocked the Bosphorus Strait. So any of you know where the Bosphorus Strait is, it's basically linking the Black Sea to the Mediterranean Sea. There's a very narrow strait there. It's basically been blocked. Now, do you remember that great big shipping container that blocked the Strait of Hormuz, wasn't it?
Yes.
A year or two ago. That caused massive global supply issues, and it's probably still ongoing based on how that happened. Very dubious. This, I suspect, is the same. So basically what's happening is there's going to be grain, wheat and corn exports from Ukraine going into the EU. That is a main supply route going through that strait to go into EU export for EU countries, okay? So they're not going to be getting 3,000 tons. 3,000 tons is a lot, if you know what I mean, okay? So yeah, that's not going to be making its way anywhere soon. It's something to do with a rudder system, and it went out of control and it grounded just like that, and it's blocked the whole thing, and nothing can get through. So that entire Black Sea region for export through that strait is absolutely stopped. Okay, there's no way through there. So what's going to happen? There's going to be a lot of shipping backed up behind that. Obviously, there's the conflict going on in Ukraine, north of that region, for where the sea is, and it's not going to look pretty. All right. So here's the next bit of news. UK farmers are already using their winter feed. Okay. So winter feed, so you're looking at silage. So they cut all of the grass, they put it in these black bags, it rots down. It produces a different enzyme for the animals to digest through winter. That is literally being used right now. Okay. They're also reporting 50% crop losses of dried up grass. Okay. So the grass that they're going to use for animal feed, because of the drought, it's all dried. That is why they're already starting to use their winter feed. Okay, so guess what? When the winter feed runs out, when real winter comes, like we said, January, February, what's going to happen to the animals? It's crazy. There's so many things that are going on at the same time. We can only scratch on a few things, but I'm trying to share with what I've researched, and some of you guys can input into the chat what you're finding out too. Now, what are we looking at? Looking at cold weather as well. Poland. Now, in Poland, people are actually they're sleeping in their own cars because they are queuing to buy coal. All right. Now, there's been like a governmental subsidy that's been issued to the general public because of the cost of living crisis and keeping warm through the winter. So people around this time of year like to stock up on the fuel that they believe they're going to need to get them through the winter. And if any of you guys have been in Poland in the winter, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, what happened in the walls?
Oh, don't even go there.
The weather in Poland, honestly, you don't want to be there in
We're
winter
thinking
time.
of going there for a holiday in March.
March, well, it might start thawing out by then. It gets cold in Poland for winter. If any of you guys are in Poland right now,
very, very cold.
you will concur. So they are queuing up in their vehicles for 3 days, and they're sleeping in their vehicles because they don't want to lose their place just to buy coal. All right. So that's how desperate things are getting out there. So, like I said, I think the government they've lowered it to made it available for the people to get at a reduced rate. So they jumped on it and they're queuing up, and the queues are currently 3 days, and they expect the days to be longer. So more than 3 days, just queued up, waiting in line just to get your coal. Okay, to keep warm for the winter. Also, going back on to food, India. Now, this is happened. This is real news now. India has banned all wheat exports. Now, we spoke about this in a few live streams ago. They were considering it. They've actually done it. So there will be no grain coming out of India for global export.
In their own country.
Yeah, that's literally, you've hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what they're doing. They're looking after their own. And India, they're not the only countries. There was a few that I checked, but I didn't write them down. But yeah, there is a fair few who have literally stopped exporting grains. Moreover,
these were the countries that were going to renegotiate trade deals with us, give us their grain.
I know.
We're not getting grain from Ukraine.
I know, it's all gone beautifully to plan.
Absolutely.
It's an amazing plan. You can't help but admire the enemy for how this is unfolding. It's so technically millions of moves ahead in this game of chess. Another thing is most fertilizer plants are now offline across Europe. So when you consider fertilizer, now the same thing which I've looked into, it seems to go back to the same base ingredient, which is nitrogen. Now I've heard also what's happening out in Canada, that the wonderful, amazing Prime Minister in Canada, what he's actually done is he's got people to go out to private farms and to get soil tests to see the nitrogen levels without their consent. Now, how would you feel if you was a farmer and someone just turned up on your land and started taking soil samples? I believe they've got no right to do so. But nonetheless, it's happening in Canada right now. If anyone out there in Canada is in the chat, I believe there was a few people in Canada earlier. Let us know, because that's information that's just come in, and it'd be nice to hear people out there actually seeing and hearing that as well. Okay, it just backs it all up, because you need to get some weight behind what we're saying here. Right, really important. apparently, you know, I said about the crop reports and the crop yields, they're really soon, but they've got inspectors out there right now, and they're guesstimating the yields. So the passes and the fails from what's come. Now in England, just in England, what they are expecting is half of the potato crop to fail. Half, that's 50%. So when you think about potato related products that we consume here in the UK, I mean, how many things can you get out of a spud? It's ridiculous.
I don't care. I'll just go and buy chips.
You've had your chips. But yeah, like, you know, most people grow their own potatoes, and you know, you can grow potatoes all year round. Okay, you're gonna have your earlies, your second stage early, you've got your main crops, and all of those. You get them in the right area at the right time. You should have potatoes all the way around. Okay, and if you've got a glut or you're a bit short for certain months, you can actually bury them, literally cover them head to foot in straw, as deep and as thick insulated as you can, cover it over, and they will dry store pretty much for 12 months. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that. If you buy potatoes from the supermarket and you're planning on storing them, don't bother, because what they do is they literally chill them, they wash them, which kills off all of the protective bacteria which protects it. So basically what you want to do is you want to dig up your own spuds, keep as much dirt on it as you can, okay, cover it in straw and bury it as deep as you can, and they'll be good, because if you do anything else, what you've put under there is just going to rot and you won't be able to use them. Okay, that's another little tip. So also off the back of the England potato crops looking really bad, they are awaiting final reports, so this is just base analysis. Okay, it's not confirmed. So they're looking at between 10 and 50% of carrots, onions, apples, hops, sugar beet to be the same. So think about what I just said: carrots, onions, apples, hops, and sugar beet. So hops. So you could see
no more Doombar
price rises in that because they go through a hell of a lot of hops to create this. So speaking of that,
drink it while you can, because it'll all be gone soon.
Yeah, there is to that. God, that stuff's well nice. I'm gonna have another one in a minute. So what else have we got? Oh, another one. So some of you guys who are really struggling out there, some of you people who like to use the shop Iceland here in the UK, I've just heard that they are offering loans, interest-free, £75. Right, so basically you go in there, you've got no money, you do a short online form or something with them, and they just give you like £75 in a voucher, I believe, and you can go around the store and get what you want, and that's it. And you haven't got to pay it back until whenever this agreement made is met. Okay, and that's at zero interest, so you won't have to pay any interest. So they've already seen people struggling, and they've offered this to help people. But it's the same old thing. If you're spending money that's not yours, at some point it's got to go back, and it could lead to problems. And they're also thinking of a preloaded card of £100 on there. So basically you go in there, you get this card, it's got 100 quid in there, you can go around and do your shop. Just say it's like £11 or £20. You can keep going until that that £100 is spent. Iceland, bloody, what is in that beer? They are now offering that. Okay, so that is something to look out for. You know, sometimes in the channel when we talk about communities, and we like to think of the idea of not using money, barter. Okay, now this is actually happening, right? And that bloody fly, check this out. You have to check this out yourself to believe it, because I didn't believe it till I actually looked into it, and it's true. Afghanistan are paying Russia in raisins in trade of oil, so they're not using any currency. Obviously the amount of stuff that they can grow in Afghan with the climate is insane. Raisins, obviously it's just grapes, it's dried up in the sun, they can do that easily out there, and they probably struggle a little bit in Russia because of their climate. So guess what? Hey, you want some raisins? Have this, give us some oil. Okay, good swap, happy days. But I'm thinking, you know what the Russians are like? You know, when it's cold in Russia and it's a bit brutal and they like a drink, what can you make out of raisins? Now think about it.
Hip.
There you go. It will get you drunk, put it that way. So yeah, that seems like a fair trade. So they get loads of oil and they get blind drunk. Happy days. Another thing as well, which is come to fruition, which is a scary thing. I remember seeing it on a program on Sunday called Country File. Now, who of you have seen Country File? I ain't watched it for years, but back in the day, I used to watch it.
Gone woke.
Is it?
Oh, it's gone absolutely. I'll turn it
Oh,
off.
that woke stuff.
I just couldn't believe it.
Jeez. Since I hate that woke stuff, I'm against every second bit of it.
Join the
But
club.
what they are saying is, what I've looked into is lots of the combine harvesters, anything to use with to do with crops, basically in farming, because it's intensive farming now and it's done on a huge scale. Right, we're not talking small little irregular shaped fields. We're talking huge, great, perfect rectangles and whatnot. They use these great big machines and they're all like run online. Okay, so they all use the internet. You all use location tracking. You use GPS. Yeah. So they can do perfect straight runs and they get the maximum as they could. Well, guess what? Someone has hacked into that and is shutting them down. So if you don't think there's an attack on our food by now, if that doesn't make you think about it, then I'm afraid nothing will. Okay, there is a massive attack on our food. Now, my advice to anyone just getting into this prepping stuff, get as much food as you can. All right, get as much food as you can. Get food that's going to last a long time and get food that you actually enjoy. Okay, if you're not sure about it, just buy one tin and try it. Okay, and if you like it, great, get some more. If you don't buy any more. What you don't want to do is to go, oh, that looks nice, and get 20 tins of it. Put them under the stairs, and then come 3 years' time, you know, that tin's just cost you £1. In 3 years' time, it costs you £6. And then you go to eat it. Oh, it's horrible. Don't like that. Try it first. And what I tend to do is I only get stuff when it's on offer, or so when it's at a reduced price for some reason. Like I say, I try them, and if they're any good and they're on offer, I just get loads of them, stick them away, job done. That would be my main priorities if I was starting into preparedness, is making sure you've got enough food for your family. I don't think you're going to be getting a drought in the winter time, so I won't worry too much about purifying water. But keeping warm is a big thing. All right, now, especially if you're young or you're old, it's seriously going to have an impact. Okay, so if you've got little kids, you know, granddad's moved in or nan's moved in or whatever it is, you're going to move in. He loves that fire.
Oh yeah,
it's massive, isn't it? So it's, yeah, you really got to make sure that everyone keeps warm. Okay, so make sure that everything's insulated and all that sort of thing. So yeah, those guys who have donated, that's awesome. If you don't want to do that super chat thing, there is a PayPal donation email address under the video. And not only that, there is other links to coffee or Ko-fi. So some of you have bought me coffees before. That's absolutely awesome. And that's very little money and all that sort of thing. So that really, really helps. But no, it'd be interesting to see your comments. We've only got a couple of minutes now. So yeah, if anyone's got a question, whack it in capital letters and we'll have a little look through it. Okay. Do any of your tins burst? Mine have. No, I've never had a tin burst ever. Wow. The only thing I can think of is somehow it's got air in there and it's expanded. Oh, that doesn't make sense. No, I've never had that before. Things to watch out for in tins, though, when you buy them, is make sure they've got no dents in it, okay? Because there's a lot of dented tins out there, especially the cheaper stores. So looking at Aldi, some of them tins are absolutely terrible. You can literally squeeze them like that, and they just. They shouldn't do that, should they? Tin, you should grab it, and it's not going to move.
So it means to sell it, someone will buy it.
Yeah, I guess they're just cutting cost, okay? There we go. What are your thoughts on, I can't pronounce that, networks for encrypted off-grid comms? I don't know, but what I can tell you, I've got a good friend of mine who is developing probably one of the most encrypted communication devices, a media platform that's been created. It's a big thing. And that's looking pretty close to being finished. So any news on that, it's going to be a proper prepper private network where people can exchange whatever. Okay. Also, I forgot to mention there is good news. Now, some of you, I knew I'd save this to the last. I did say hang on to the end, and I'm glad you did. 1,131 people. If you can hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. it all makes a big difference because more people get to read the replay of this video and they get to see what you guys have been typing in, and they could contact you for hints and tips. Okay, it's a big meeting room and it's gaining pace. There's a lot of people who are seriously checking this out, which is a good thing. We need lots of people here in the UK to understand what's coming on, and we don't want people getting cold and hungry. That's all we want to try and do.
Plus, don't be afraid
Mm-hmm.
to sit indoors dressed as you'll go out in the cold.
Yeah, that's a good point. Don't feel bad about sitting there with, like, you know, winter outdoor clothes on indoors.
No.
It doesn't matter.
You're keeping warm.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I remember walking to school once and I had this great big snorkel and all I could see was that.
Oh my God.
The
Yeah.
bloody
He
snorkels.
tied it up under his nose.
Yeah. And one kid walked past me on the way to school and it was freezing and it was raining, and he walked past me and he had his school uniform on, so he had a shirt and a jumper on, and he laughed. He goes, "Oh, you look a right prick." And I looked at him and said, "At least I'm a warm prick." This guy was shivering. He was freezing. He
It
was.
was the snorkel one, wasn't it?
Like, every time I had to look around, I had to go like this.
That's it. Yeah.
You cross the road, you can't look like that. You got to go like this.
Submarine.
Who remembers them snorkels in the
Yeah.
80s? Oh my days. Bloody hilarious. So yeah, that's absolutely right. Don't be embarrassed or afraid to wear outdoor clothes indoors. Because at the end of the day, keeping warm is better than staying cold. All right? Like I said, one important bit of information right at the end of this video before we end the live stream in a few minutes now. You remember me saying about the freeze drying machine that we was trying to get from America? Well, guess what? It's arrived and it's currently going on initial trials and everything's looking really good. It's turning out that a 24-hour cycle costs £20 in energy to actually get your food freeze dried. Now, it's going to be based in Brecon in Wales. So basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to get people on. The only way I can think of it is there has to be some very basic website set up. Okay, so people go on there, there'll be a calendar, they will look at the slots that are available, they'll book a slot. What they'll do is they'll prepare all of their food at home, take it there, put it in the freeze dry machine, leave it for 24 hours, take it away, job done. Okay, it's going to save people an absolute fortune. You can buy these tins, which are so expensive now. I remember where I worked, this time last year they were £38 there, they're over £61. It's crazy. So people want to do it themselves, but the freeze dry machine is so expensive. So people can actually rent a time period to freeze dry their own food, which is awesome. My advice would be is to freeze dry meat, okay? Because meat's going to get expensive. It's going to get scarce over the coming years. And if you used to get whatever meat that you like, minced beef, some steak, some chicken breast, some pork chops, lamb chops, whatever it is that you like, you can prepare it at home, chop it all up into little bits, put it in a bag, take it to Brecon where the freeze dryer is, you put it in there, you switch it on, 24 hours later, take it home, you can vacuum seal it or put it in a bucket with an oxygen absorber. Guess what? That will be absolutely fine in 30 years' time. All you need to do is put warm water in it to reconstitute it, and it will be, literally, it's crazy. It's like the old sci-fi cryostasis films where people they get frozen and they stay there for 100 years and you slowly fall them out and they're alive again. It's exactly the same thing. Okay, so you'll get your like a rump steak like this, a big rump steak. You chop it up in bits, you freeze dry it, chuck it away in there. 30 years, you take it out, you put boiling water over it or hot water, and it goes vroom, and it's exactly as it was the second that you put it in that freeze dry machine. Okay, so you can imagine how much food's going to cost up to 30 years from now, especially meat. Okay, I predict that meat is going to be impossible to afford within 2 years, and that's being conservative, right? So if you enjoy eating meat, you've got ways to do it. Get as many chest freezers as you can. Find a way to power them for free with solar panels to ensure that your food stays frozen. Or, like we're trying to do, we're trying to set up this community project where people can freeze dry their own food. I'm going to keep you updated on that because, as I say, it's come all the way from America. It's taken ages to get here. It's been set up. We set up a nice sterile room with like clean, professional stainless steel cookware, etc. And people can go in there and freeze dry their own food, take it away, pack it any way they want, and they got guaranteed food for long term then. So I will keep you updated on that and how that pans out. Like I said, all of the links that you're going to need to know if you want to donate or below the video, it really, really helps. Only because some people ask and they're unaware of how to do it. That's absolutely awesome. So what I'd like to do is to say thanks to everyone that's joined the chat. It's been a record. There's been over 1,000 here. And I believe that it's only going to grow. Okay, so here in the UK, thank God people are starting to wake up. I started saying this 12 years ago, and people are only starting to come to the fore. Lots of you have been by my side since day one, and I really appreciate it. You guys are like brothers to me. It's been so long. So I can't thank you guys enough for all your support over the years. It's really cool, and it seriously is good. The moderators, you know, without you guys and girls, this doesn't happen. So extra special thanks to the moderators. Okay, you're absolutely awesome.
They get 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I get double thumbs. The moderators are super cool, and of course, you beautiful people who have donated as well. It really, really helps. Okay, we really want to get this project and the website up and running, and it's going to be cool because we're going to reach a lot of people in the UK. There's lots going on in America, but there's not much over here, and it's good to be right on the forefront of making that happen. So it's like a pioneer feeling, and I'm glad that people are absolutely just putting loads of information into that chat, and it's awesome because I'm going to watch the replay tomorrow and I'm going to see what's been going on. So that is absolutely cool. So that's it. It's good night from me.
And good night from the retired old fire.
Awesome. Thanks for watching and stay funky.